everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Blair and today's video is a get ready with me. I'm actually getting ready to go out to dinner and I figured I would just turn the camera on and film myself getting ready. We are playing with the new Natasha Denona Glam Palette today and spoiler alert, I think I'm in love and I just love how this look turned out. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed before you leave. I do post videos 2 times a week on Wednesdays and Fridays. Thank you for watching and let's go ahead and get into the makeup. We are gonna start out with the eyes today. I wanted to switch it up and we are going to be using the Natasha Denona Glam Palette today. So I really want to do something pretty dark and kind of smoky, I think. So I'm going to do my eyes first, just in case I get any fallout, I can fix it. So I'm first going to go in with my NARS Tinted Smudgeproof eyeshadow base. I love this stuff, especially when I'm going to wear quite a bit of eyeshadow. I have mine in the shade Light. Now that I've primed my eyes, let's go ahead and get into the eyeshadow. This palette, you guys, this is the most beautiful palette ever. I am so excited to dive into this palette. I wanted this really as soon as I saw it. I know it's been everywhere on YouTube and I'm very late to the game on this one. I tried to convince myself I didn't need this, but truly I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I just caved and went ahead and got it. I know I'm not going to talk about it a ton because everyone has been doing videos on this palette, but it is a pretty cool toned palette, but there are definitely some shades in here that lean a little bit more neutral to me. So I feel like this is a very versatile palette that a lot of people can get a lot of use out of. It is on the pricey side. It is $65 like the rest of her 15 pan palettes. But based on the fact that these colors are so neutral and so universally flattering for everyone, really, I feel like this is one that you can justify spending $65 on. That's just my opinion, but I'm excited to try this with you guys, and let's go ahead and dive into this. So I'm gonna first take this shade, which is called Transition. I don't even know, this shade may be too light to even show up. I don't know. No, actually, it has some color. Not a lot. It's very, very light. I'm just going to start by very, very lightly blending this shade into the crease. Kind of blending it up towards my eyebrow, too. So this shade looks really light in the pan. It looks like a very, very light gray, but on your eyes, it definitely gives you a little bit of definition in your crease. Depending on your skin tone, you could probably use it as like an all over shadow shade, but I am using it in my crease. Now I am going to go into the shade next to it, which is called Crease. I'm sure you guys have seen people say that these shadows are named based on where they were meant to be applied. So like this one is Crease. The first one I use is Transition. I think that's kind of interesting. I've never seen a palette done like that. So I'm going in with the Crease shade with more of a tapered brush this time. And I'm going to put this right where I can feel the crease of my eye just to kind of deepen up that first transition shade that we used. If you see the lighting changing in this video, it's because I'm just using natural light. I do not have any type of ring light or anything. I mentioned in another video that I filmed, I'm not sure if it'll be up before this one, but I recently moved, like a lot of you know, and unfortunately my ring light was totally destroyed and essentially broken in half during the move, so it was not repairable. It was pretty badly damaged, so I do not have a new one yet, so I am just working with what I have right now. My camera is currently propped up on 6 shoe boxes because that's the only thing I could find that was the right height that I could rest my camera on. So that's what it looks like in this room right now. My camera is sitting on my shoe boxes. Oh well. So I'm just adding this color into the crease until it's as dark as I want. So I think I'm going to stop there, maybe a little bit more. Maybe I'll add a little bit more on this side. These shadows, of course, like always, to me, are blending just like Natasha Denona shadows normally do. They're very creamy and just honestly kind of diffuse themselves. It's crazy. Now I'm going to go back in with the first shade we used and that big fluffy brush, and we're just going to kind of very lightly go over everything. Anyway, so like I was saying, if you see the lighting changing, it's because I'm just using natural light and the sun is kind of going in and out at this point because it's later in the day. So hopefully it's okay. I love this palette not only because it's beautiful, but also because I feel like you do not see many palettes that are a little more on the cool side. I feel like warm palettes are definitely what you see more often. And so I just like that this is different and it's not the typical warm orangey palette that we see come out all the time. I like that this one is a little bit different. Now I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is called Smoke. It's a little bit darker, kind of the same tone, but darker than that crease shade that we just used. So I'm taking that same BK Beauty 202 brush and I'm gonna lightly build this up in my outer corner and lightly kind of drag it into the crease. I love this brush for this step because it is tapered. You can really kind of pinpoint color where you want it, but then because it's tapered, you can use the very tip to really get in there and blend. I love, love, love this brush. Okay, we're getting very, very smoky. I like it though. One tip I do have for you especially when you're blending darker shadows, try to sometimes when you're blending, kind of keep your eye like halfway open. So you can kind of see, like I have my eye kind of closed, but still open. This way you can kind of see what your blending is looking like and where you need to blend more, or you know what it's going to look like when your eye is open. It's kind of like doing eyeliner. If you don't leave your eye open, sometimes you can't really see what it's actually going to look like, because if you leave your whole eye closed, especially if you have hooded lids, you can't tell what it's going to look like until you open your eye. So I try to do that when I'm applying my shadow. Now I'm going to go in with the shade next to it called Blend. This is definitely more of a neutral brown or a neutral tan, kind of a beige color, I guess. I'm going to take that Blend shade on the same big fluffy brush I used first, and that's the BK Beauty 202. It's just fluffier, it's not tapered on the end. And I am going to just very lightly go in circular motions and make sure all of these colors are nice and blended together. Since this color is more neutral, it should kind of diffuse the smokiness just a little bit. It's not gonna totally take it away because we don't want to take away all this lovely gray smokiness we have, but it'll just kind of tone it down a little. I never hardly wear tones like this on my eyes. I don't know why. I just typically kind of go for more of the bronzy tones, like bronzer in my crease or just warmer tones on my eyes in general, but I love a smokier eye look like this. I think it's so pretty. I need to do this more often. I have a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, and I'm going to spray this brush. This is BK Beauty 203. It's kind of a small shader brush. And first gonna spray my brush. And then I'm trying to decide which one of these shades I want to use. There's so many pretty ones. Okay, let's go in with this one. It's called Outer Eyelid. There's a few of them that are called Outer Eyelid. This one is kind of a gray shimmery color. So I'm just getting some of that shade on my brush, and I'm gonna kind of just pat it in over where we put that smoke shade. But I'm not going to blend it as much up into the crease. I'm just going to kind of keep it right here. It feels so good to finally be sitting down and filming again. If you are new here or you've missed my last few videos, you may not know that I have recently moved and I haven't been posting 2 times a week like I usually do, and it has literally been killing me. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel this sense of incompleteness, I guess, when I don't do it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I miss it. This is my chill out time and my happy place where I just get to sit and talk to you guys and play with my makeup. It does a lot of good for me mentally, and I just love it. So I'm so happy to be back filming videos. I'm going to go back in with the first shade we use now, the transition shade, and my big fluffy brush again. And we're just going to kind of go over where we just put that shimmer shade. I'm just going to blend and blend and blend. You do have to very lightly layer these kinds of colors if you want it to look really seamless and blended. I think I'm going to take this shade. It's called Center Eyelid. It's one of a few center eyelid shades. It's a little bit more of a gold, not so much gray. So I want to get a little bit of gold in here. I want to keep it mostly a gray taupey tone, but I feel like this shade will be really pretty to tap right in the center. So I'm going to use my finger and I'm just going to tap this right in the middle, kind of up into the crease a little bit. Ugh, that is so pretty. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is about fingers and shimmer shades, but I just feel like your finger and shimmers just work so well together. Look at that. I love it. Let's see. Probably gonna have to use a brush. Oh no, I'll use my pinky, I guess. I'm gonna use this shade here. It's called Inner Corner. This is kind of I guess it's a light shimmery taupe kind of color. Kind of hard to explain, but it looks really pretty. Oh my God, these shadows feel like butter. When you dip your fingers in, they literally feel like butter on your fingers. This is so, so beautiful. Hey, pinky. Probably could have done this with a brush, but I just really like to use my finger. What's crazy is this looks like it was a lot more difficult than it actually was. That's what I love about Natasha Denona shadows, is you truly do not have to work hard to make it look like you did. Like they just kind of do all the work for you. It's crazy. I'm just kind of going back over with my big blending brush again. I didn't add any new product. Trying to see if I have any fallout that I need to clean up. I don't even have very much fallout, you guys. Like, truly. There's like hardly anything to clean up. This is the best part about doing your eyes first. You can take a makeup wipe or a Q-tip or whatever you have, and you can clean up the edges of your eyeshadow. Even though, honestly, I don't have much fallout, so I don't have a whole lot to clean up. But I went a little crazy on this side, so I'm going to take my finger with my little cloth here and just drag it up. And do the same thing on this side, but I didn't get that crazy over here. Just like that. And you have a clean line. Super easy. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my eyebrows, and I'll do my lower lash line once I've done my face makeup. I'm gonna use my Benefit Precisely My Brow to fill in my brows. I use the shade 3.5. Just brushing them upward. So I did film kind of a vlog style video of me organizing my makeup and a kind of a tour of my new beauty room in here at my office. I will link that for you if you haven't seen it. I filmed it in 2 parts, so there's a part 1 and a part 2. But I'm so glad to have this move behind me. If you've moved before, any type of move is bad, but moving to another state is just, it's not fun. There's just, moving in general is just not fun. It's a lot of work, and if you're like me, it can make you very anxious, and it's just not a fun process. But now that it's behind us and we're here in the new house, I'm really excited about this new space. I don't know why, but since we've moved in here and I kind of got all my makeup set up like I wanted, and today's the first day I sat down to film an actual like makeup video. I've just felt so good, and I don't know if it's just from like a change of scenery or why, but I've just felt really, really good sitting down in here today. And I don't know, it could be because I haven't filmed in a little while. I've been kind of out of my routine. I don't know, but I'm just really excited. I feel very inspired, I guess, to film. Like, I have a whole new list of videos I want to film, and I'm really excited to do that. And I'm just happy to be back on my schedule and post 2 videos a week. My goal has always been to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so eventually I would like to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but it's so hard to fit in the time to edit and always have 3 videos every week when you work full time. I know there's tons of people here on YouTube that do it, and I do not know how those people do it, because it is not easy to have a video ready, get it done, filmed, edited, exported, uploaded to YouTube, make the thumbnail. I mean, it's a lot of work. I feel like people just don't realize how much work YouTube is, because it looks so fun, and it is fun, but you have to truly love it and want to do it, because it is a lot of work. And for me, it's totally worth it because I enjoy every second of it, and I miss it when I don't film. So, long story short, I just kind of went on a rant, but I'm really happy to be back to filming. So today I'm going to use a primer. Believe it or not, I'm going to use the POREfessional, the hydrating one from Benefit. I was just kind of in the mood to use this. I have not used this in quite a while. And honestly, I can't even remember how I felt about it. I know I liked the original POREfessional, but it's not something that I use like all the time. So I'm just gonna kind of put this around my nose and kind of on my forehead. Anywhere where I just kind of want to smooth everything out. So that primer feels very similar to the original POREfessional. It just feels like it has a little bit more of a slip to it. It's not so silicone-y feeling, which I really like. Now I'm going to go in with my Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. This one is in the shade 3. I haven't used this in a little while, so I really want some glow today. So I'm going to add a little bit of this to the tops of my cheekbones, my nose, center of forehead, chin, and Cupid's bow. And then I'm just going to blend that in with this little brush from Real Techniques. Now I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish Corrector in the shade number 2. So I can finally cover up this lovely darkness under my eyes. That looks even darker because I have dark eyeshadow on. So I'm just going to take this on, I think this is, yeah, Marc Jacobs shadow brush. And I'm going to apply some of this under the eyes and kind of into the tear duct also. I'm not sure if I even said, but I'm getting ready tonight because I'm going out to dinner with my husband to, I guess, kind of celebrate the fact that we finally got moved and just to celebrate the new house and everything. We haven't really had a chance to go out to dinner and just kind of relax. We've been so busy doing stuff for the house, so that's what I'm doing tonight. So that's why I'm putting on makeup, even though I'm going to be, I guess, wearing a mask, which is going to cover up half my face, but it's okay. Oh well. I can't believe my eyes. Now I know why everyone's been talking about this palette. I get it now. It's so, so nice. I'm just going to take my ring finger and very lightly just make sure this is nice and blended in. For concealer, I have two. I think I'm going to actually use Shape Tape. I hardly ever use this anymore, but since I'm putting on more makeup today, I'm kind of in the mood. This is the shade 22N Light Neutral. Now I'm just going to take my damp sponge and lightly blend this out. I've typically been using my Smashbox blurring concealer brush, but since this is Shape Tape, I feel like I can use a sponge since it's so full coverage. For foundation today, I'm going to use my NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade 4.5 Vienna. This is kind of my go-to when I want more coverage. So I'm going to take some directly on my brush and then I'll start to blend it in. I'm obsessed with this foundation for when I want more coverage. I just love everything about this. This color is good for me. The finish is so pretty. I just love it. So there's the foundation. I just love this one. This has got to be one of my favorite foundations ever. I don't wear it all the time because I don't wear this much makeup all the time, but when I do feel like that, I love this foundation. Now I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder in the shade number 1. And I am gonna put a little bit of this under my eyes to set my concealer. Since I'm gonna be applying some shadow on my lower lash line, I definitely wanna set under my eyes. Moving on to something I just got, and this was another thing. I tried not to buy this, but I just loved it. I just had to have it. It's the new Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit palette for the holidays. It's the Sculpture palette. It's in this beautiful gold packaging, and like always, you have your finishing powders, blushes, and a bronzer. And I have the Ghost palette from last year. I love Hourglass palettes so much. I just could not resist this one. So I'm going to go into the bronzer shade with my, this is the Real Techniques blush brush actually. For some reason, I've really been liking this for bronzer recently. I don't know why, I just really like the way it applies bronzer. I feel like there have been so many new launches coming out. It's just crazy between the holiday stuff starting to come out and new launches with makeup. I just feel like there's been so many things, so many things. So you guys will have to let me know what you're excited about that you've seen. If anything has really caught your eye that's new. Look at that bronzer. Oh my gosh. So pretty. And for blush, I'm just going to mix the two blushes in here. Let's see, what are these called? Mood Exposure and Vibrant Flush. So I'm just going to mix a little bit of both. And just lightly apply a little bit of this. Oh, so beautiful. So I kind of mentioned, I think I mentioned this before, but I've been in a little bit of a slump, and I think it's because I've been so unsettled for a little while, like just knowing we were gonna move, but then like having to wait for it to happen, and I don't know. I'm not someone that handles change very well, and I just feel like not filming has just not been good for me. This is truly my happy place, and I just feel really good when I sit down and film a video. I know that probably sounds strange, but something about it just really calms me. So I really needed this today, and I'm just really happy to be filming again. So I'm going to go in with the two finishing powders. I believe this is Dim Light and Diffuse Light. And I'm just going to mix a little bit of both. And I'm just going to lightly kind of go over my whole face. Now I'm just going to go in with the highlight in here. This is Glistening Strobe Light. I'm just going to apply just a little bit of this on my cheekbones. So I think I am going to take a little bit of this shade, which is called the Lash Line shade. It's a very dark, kind of a gray. And I'm going to take this with a little BK Beauty, which number is this? 208. It's a tiny little angled brush. It is tiny, as you can see, but it really helps you do eyeliner very easily, and to do it with eyeshadow. So I'm just going to take the tiniest bit of that color. I'm not going to do a wing or anything because I already have this wing shape with my eyeshadow. I don't feel like I need to do any wing or make a wing with my shadow, but I do want to just lightly go over my lash line. Just really helps define everything even more. For the lower lash line, I am gonna mix the crease shade and the blend shade. So I'm gonna use a little bit of both of those. With my BK Beauty Smudge It brush, this is the 204. And I'm just gonna run this on my lower lash line. Again, this is a fantastic brush for getting really, really precisely at your lower lash line. It's very, very short and kind of stubby. I love it. It is perfect for your lower lash line. And I think that's all I'm gonna do. I don't wanna make it too dark under there. And the last thing I did want to do is, they have a shade in here that it says is for your brow bone. So I'm gonna put a little bit of it under my brow, and it's this shade in the corner. I am just gonna take a tiny bit of this under my eyebrow. I never do this either, but I figured since they have it in here, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm also gonna take a tiny bit of this shade. It's also called Inner Corner, with my pinky, and I'm just gonna pop a tiny bit of this at my tear duct, like literally a very, very small amount. You guys, this palette, phenomenal. I mean, truly, I wanna say this is the first time I've used the palette, I know, but I wanna say this is my favorite palette of 2020. Like, this may be my favorite makeup look by far from 2020. We'll see once I finish, but I'm just obsessed with how the eyes have come out. I just curled my lashes, and now I'm gonna put on some mascara. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara. I haven't used this in forever, but I definitely want some volume since I have a lot going on my eyes. For the lips, I've been sitting here trying to decide what I want to do. I think kind of in the mood to use MAC today, so I'm going to use the MAC lip pencil in the shade Subculture. I haven't used this in a while. And for lipstick, I'm going to go in with MAC in the shade Honeylove. It's a really, really pretty nude. And then last but not least, I wanted to finish off with my Fenty Gloss Bomb. And this is the clear shade in Glass Slipper. And lastly, I'm just going to spray my face with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush setting spray. Woo. Every time I use that one, I forget how much of a fragrance it has. Woo. Fan myself. I need one of those Patrick Ta fans. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm so excited to be back filming, and I must say, I think I'm gonna say this may be my favorite makeup look I've done of 2020, and this may be my favorite palette of 2020 because I am absolutely in love with how this turned out. 10 out of 10 would recommend. 11 out of 10 would recommend this palette. I know everyone's been talking about how phenomenal this is, and now I know why. It is truly absolutely stunning. The colors are gorgeous, the pigmentation, The blendability, they're just so, so amazing. Also, I gotta say, if you're on the fence about the Hourglass palette, I know they're pricey, but they don't disappoint. Do you have to have it? No, but if you do, I do not think you will regret purchasing it. And I hope you guys enjoyed sitting down and putting on all this makeup with me. I had so much fun sitting here and just relaxing and just doing what I love most, which is sitting down and putting on some makeup. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you aren't already, please subscribe to my channel. I will be back on schedule, posting new videos every Wednesday and Friday. Also, make sure you're following me over on Instagram at the same username, simply.blair. Thank you guys for being here. If you aren't subscribed, I hope you'll consider doing so before you leave. When I'm filming this, I'm really close to 2,000 subscribers and I'm trying really hard to get there, so please, please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in my next video. Remember, simply be you. Bye.